Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the eulogy for Eobard Thawne. Today we'll be discussing Flash issue 762, in which the death of Eobard Thawne happened. And while this is kind of a spoiler, at the exact same time, it's 100% not a spoiler. And we'll be talking about that very shortly. But today I want to give a eulogy for one of my favorite villains in DC Comics. Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash. You were awesome. Creepy. Scary. Even your TV version was cool. That is all. We'll see you when the next writer takes over. Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about Flash 762, which is the resolution to the Finish Line storyline that Josh Williamson has put together. But we're also talking about DC Metal, or Death Metal, Speed Metal, okay? And there's a reason I wanted to combine these two, because Joshua Williamson wrote both runs, and you can tell that while Flash 762 was his finale to his Flash run. It's the ending, guys. And I've said this before, when a writer ends a run, that is pretty much the ending of that comic. Flash is over. A new writer will be taking over with new stories, new ideas, new directions, but all the stuff that Joshua Williamson was doing that you enjoyed, that's over, because he's not doing it anymore. Even if the new writer brings back those ideas, that run is over. It's like when Tom King ended his Batman run, that version of Batman was over. When Scott Snyder ended his version of Batman, that version of Batman was over. It's a complete thing. It's all over. And most writers give a finite ending to their run. Joshua Williamson got to do it twice. You see, in Flash 762, he ended what he was doing with Barry Allen, Godspeed, and Reverse Flash. And we're going to talk about that with full spoilers in a second. And I'm going to explain why I said the death of Eobard Thawne with air quotes. And we're also going to talk about Speed Metal, because that is basically his finale for Wally West. So, this is it. I'm going deep diving into these comic books. I'm going to explain what I'm talking about, and I want to give you my overall opinions on 101 Flash comics. And if that number is incorrect, that's what Twitter gave me when I asked how many comics are done. They were debating 101 or 102. Either way, he has written a lot of Flash comics, and that doesn't even include things like Speed Metal and stuff that kind of goes into the exact same run. So, in Flash 762, we are at the finale of the Finish Line storyline. To catch you up of 100 issues in like a minute span of time, basically, as it turns out, Reverse Flash created Godspeed, started the Flash War, spread the powers out, messed with Flash for over 100 issues, and we didn't find out that Reverse Flash had done it until, I want to say last issue, because that was when I made that last video, was the last issue of that. So this issue is, Barry, I have messed with your entire family. I've messed with the Flash family. I've messed with the Justice League. I've messed with everyone. And now that I can't kill you still because of Death Metal, they used Death Metal as the reason why Reverse Flash couldn't get what he wanted done. He was back in the timeline to continue being a paradox. And for those of you who don't know, Reverse Flash is a paradox. He was removed from the timeline during the Flashpoint event, which allows him to exist in every time and all time at the exact same time. He can die and be instantly reborn because there's always a version of Reverse Flash running through the Speed Force. The version that existed when the Flashpoint was created is always there. And he's not in any proper timeline. So when he drops in and dies, he's back in the Flashpoint because that version always exists. So that's what makes him such a crazy villain. So this particular issue, Barry is chasing Reverse Flash, and he goes to catch him, and Reverse Flash says, that's it, I'm gonna run back to the 25th century, and I'm gonna see what the timeline was changed, what happened with this Death Metal event, so I can find other ways to mess with you, Barry, because we are not done by a long shot. I am going to continue to mess with you and your family for the rest of time. And Barry Allen runs up behind the Reverse Flash, and he grabs him by the neck, and he literally grabs the back of his cowl, and he's about to twist his neck, and you're like, he's doing it, he's gonna kill him again, and we're gonna be back in the exact same Flash loop that we have been in forever, and Barry stops. And Joshua Williamson did one of the coolest things ever, because Barry always fights Reverse Flash, always kills Reverse Flash by mistake, always deals with the consequences. This time, Barry stopped and said, I'm gonna try something new. You're sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, not you're sorry, I'm sorry. I mean, Reverse Flash will probably never be sorry, but Barry apologizes, and he says, I forgive you. I forgive you for everything that you have done. And Reverse Flash is like, no, you can't do that. And he charges at Barry. Barry phases, allowing Reverse Flash to go through him, and he spread a little bit of his Speed Force into the Reverse Flash to finally ground him. And he essentially killed the Reverse Flash that we all know, because what ends up happening is, now that Reverse Flash is actually grounded back in a timeline, he's not a paradox. and he fades away, and he becomes Eobard Thawne of the 25th century again, with no memories of what happened. He's not a paradox. He doesn't have all the crazy powers. He is back at the beginning of Eobard Thawne's origins, where he's gonna discover who Reverse Flash is. He's gonna go back in time. All of it's going to happen again, but all of the recent 10 years of Reverse Flash reset. That new power he got from the negative force that allowed him to do hypnotic suggestions, gone. The ability to die and come back to life no matter what, gone. The ability to know every timeline and everything that has gone on, to even from Dr. Manhattan to the Batman Who Laughs to what's going on with Barry, gone. All of it has been reset. And when Barry goes back in time, back to his normal timeline, all the Flashes are okay, everyone's good, all the villains went back to their timelines, everything is fixed and repaired. And then we go to the epilogue cliffhanger where we discover that Godspeed is alive. We don't know how, why, or what. At least that's my assumption. They show Godspeed's tombstone, and then a yellow speedster runs through and wipes off Godspeed as having died. So I'm assuming Godspeed's still alive. Eobard Thawne is dead, but it's more this version is dead, and there's a new version out there for us to continue having Eobard Thawne adventures with. And then there's and then we find the last thing, what Eobard was trying to hide from Barry. It turns out that there are the Thawnes back in the past with Barry. Very loose breadcrumb that Joshua Williamson left for the next writer to work with if he wants to. But there are Thawnes in the current timeline. They're obviously not evil. They don't know what's going on. But I'm sure that if somebody wants to work with that, we got that for the future. If you guys remember Eddie from the first season of the original Flash, that kind of Thawne relationship. So it's incredible because I've stuck with this run for all these issues. Even when Tom King had a crud run, in, like issue or two of Batman, and I would drop off there and come back. Even when there would be like a crud run of one of my other favorite books, like Green Lantern, going over to Grant Morrison, and I'm not a fan of that. So I would read one issue, drop an issue, read an issue. I've never stopped reading The Flash. Even when I didn't know where Joshua Williamson was going with this, I still kept reading The Flash. It was the one book that I never stopped reading, and it is officially over. It is concluded. And he wrapped up all of his threads too. The new forces exist, but they're all friendly with the Flash. All the Flash family are back in their proper timelines. Wally is back with his kids and with Linda to some weird extent. I don't know if they fully explained that, but Linda just seems to know. Like, at first I thought it was Iris, and then I thought it was Linda because she's like over hugging and kissing him. Maybe I misread it. It's either Iris or Linda, but it seems like it's Linda, and she knows what's going on because the kids are also there. So it was kind of briefly touched on, because then what they do is we go over to the death metal book, Speed Metal. So Joshua Williamson ended his Flash run in one of the most incredible finale ways I've ever seen, in which he basically got to remove all of the problems. He got killed as Eobard. He got to bring back his Godspeed. He got to do everything he wanted, but at the same time, he didn't do standard comic book nonsense. He didn't kill Godspeed, kill Reverse Flash, kill everyone, and then go, well, they'll never come back. Wink. No, he immediately brought them all back, but like in different comic book forms, so that no matter what happens, his version is gone. His version of Reverse Flash is gone. His version of Godspeed is gone. His versions of these characters are gone. And if another writer comes back and literally takes that version back into the storyline, that's going to be crazy, because like I would assume they'd have to get approval of some kind, or not even like an official, but at least check with the guy. Either way. But then over in Speed Metal, we have our next death metal tie-in. And it's a conclusion to Wally West. So what we discover in there is the reason why Wally West went from Mobius chair to Blue Wally to then suddenly being emancipated, being rescued by Wonder Woman, is they fill in those gaps. Wally explains that he lost the Mobius chair because the Batman Who Laughs came over and took it from him, which took his powers. But the Mobius chair rejected the Batman Who Laughs, so he can't use its powers. Okay, that's cool. We also get full-blown acknowledgement that Barry and Wally need to stop fighting. Kid Flash, Wallace West, and Jay are like, what are you guys doing? We are outrunning like 20 zombie Flashes that the Batman Who Laughs sent after us. What are you doing? We need to stop this. And we resolve that stuff. We resolve the Barry-Wally issues. They finally resolve their problems where Barry just doesn't see Wally as the Flash, he sees him as Kid Flash. He was gone when Wally went from Kid Flash to the Flash. So it's a great resolution to all of this. And then Barry gets taken off by these evil zombie Flashes, and we get to see Wally resolve everything. because Wally then goes through and goes, no, I am the Flash. I can run through this. And he puts on the original red costume with the eyes that you can't see, and he goes awesome and brings everyone back. That's where Linda showed up, not in the other one, which would make a lot more sense why it was Linda and not Iris, but it was in Death Metal. I've read comics today. But anyway, she shows up, and Linda, he even says it's Linda, so I'm right. So all of you guys who have already typed a comment and put it in there, and you're like, no, Brady, it was Linda. Why would you think it's Iris? Because I got the two comics mixed up. It is Linda, and Linda was like, yo, I like the blue, and Wally even says Linda liked the blue, so we're good. Anyway, he gets the red suit back on, he goes back into the blue Wally face, and he runs forward, and they get the Mobius chair, and Wally decides that he is going to run forward. He is going to be his own Flash. He now has Linda, he has his kids. Between everything that happened in the Flash and here, the whole Flash family is back. We even had Mina hanging out back there, and I don't know what she had to do with Wally, but that doesn't matter. Everyone's back, and the Mobius chair has now been captured by the Flashes, and they've gotten it removed, and they're gonna go give it to Wonder Woman. So the Speed Metal issue, to me, did not feel like it had that much to do with Death Metal, actually. It had a lot of cool Death Metal art, a lot of cool Death Metal moments, and the only real takeaway we need from this is, oh, okay, Wally got the Mobius chair back and he's bringing it over to Wonder Woman. But the rest of the issue just felt like the epilogue to Joshua Williamson's epilogue. So even if you're not following Death Metal and maybe you're only a Flash fan, I 100% recommend reading Flash 762 and then going into Speed Metal, because Speed Metal resolves all the Wally stuff. So it's just a crazy day of resolutions and amazing endings while going into Death Metal. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Flash now, because on one hand, I'm sad that Joshua Williams is going and all of his ideas are done. But on the other hand, I'm excited to see what's new, because now we have another new run. If you remember, Robert Venditti did the New 52 Flash stuff towards the back half with the blue Flash from there that a lot of you guys liked. Then we went into Joshua Williamson. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There's a reason why we never get references to future blue Barry Allen. The stuff that Joshua Williams did is gone, because he's not writing it anymore. So it's going to be cool to see. But what do you guys think about the Flash finale? What do you guys think about the Speed Metal epilogue tie-in? And how do you guys think about the death of this crazy overpowered version of the Reverse Flash? And he's finally been reset to being just Reverse Flash. How do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get weekly reviews on your favorite comic books, complete stories every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. For those of you guys who keep commenting that we all putting up the videos, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we have complete stories planned every week, okay? Okay, let me have my moment. Let me have my rants. I'm probably peeking the hell out of that microphone with how loud I'm getting down here. But either way, guys, thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you next week here with another rant. That's the only one I'm doing this week because I combined the two issues. Unless Marvel does something crazy tomorrow, in which case I got to call Dan on his day off and he's going to get mad at me. But I don't care, and I'm sure you don't either. See you next week, guys.